Spiders and scorpions are two of the most feared venomous arthropods alive today. Watch till the end to see what happens when they collide. These ancient arachnids are among the most successful predatory invertebrates on Earth, with both groups having perfected the art of envenomation over hundreds of millions of years. Stay tuned for the deadliest matchups. More than 50,000 species of spiders and 2,500 species of scorpions are recognized worldwide, meaning that together they represent a staggering diversity of venomous hunting strategies across nearly every terrestrial ecosystem. And today we rank the most dangerous battles. They are found on every continent except Antarctica, with spiders having existed for over 380, probably even 400 million years, and scorpions potentially dating back even further to around 430 million years ago. But which ancient killer wins today? Unlike insects and crustaceans, which possess mandibles for chewing, both spiders and scorpions are obligate liquid feeders, and their venoms make every fight lethal. Despite their shared evolutionary heritage and remarkable success as venomous predators, encounters between spiders and scorpions reveal fascinating dynamics of predator versus predator competition. Don't blink, these battles are brutal. The question of which arthropod would prevail in a direct confrontation has intrigued researchers and nature enthusiasts alike. Keep watching to find out who dominates. The study of these interactions offers remarkable insights into venom evolution, predatory behavior, and the ecological relationships between competing arachnid lineages. Subscribe for more deadly nature breakdowns. For starters, what exactly makes spiders such formidable predators, and how did their venom delivery system evolve? Well, that brings us to understanding the sophisticated biology of these remarkable hunters. Spiders belong to the order Arachnid, which comprises over 50,000 described species divided into approximately 130 families. The most ancient, complete spider fossil we know of was announced in February of 2018, and it dates back to the Carboniferous period, around 305 million years ago. The species it belongs to is named Idmonarachne brasieri, and while it possessed many spider-like features, it actually lacked spinnerets, the silk-producing organs that characterize modern spiders. True spiders, as we know them today, are characterized by their ability to produce silk from specialized abdominal glands. These creatures possess a cephalothorax, fused head and thorax, and an abdomen connected by a narrow pedicel, 8 walking legs, and those distinctive chelicerae, the fang-bearing mouthparts that deliver venom. Spider chelicerae come in 2 fundamental configurations: orthognath, downward striking, found in tarantulas and their relatives, and labidognath, pincer-like, found in most modern spiders. The venom system in spiders is extraordinarily sophisticated. Spider venom is produced in specialized glands located either in the chelicerae themselves or in the cephalothorax, with ducts leading to hollow fangs. The venom itself is a complex cocktail of proteins, peptides, and small organic molecules, typically containing anywhere from 100 to over 1,000 different components. These venoms have evolved primarily for prey immobilization and pre-digestion, though defensive applications certainly exist. Modern research has revealed that spider venoms work through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. Neurotoxic components target the nervous systems of prey, causing paralysis by interfering with ion channels and neurotransmitter function. Cytotoxic components destroy cell membranes and tissues. Proteolytic enzymes break down proteins, essentially beginning the digestive process before the spider even begins external digestion. Some spider venoms also contain compounds that affect the cardiovascular system, causing either hypertension or hypotension in prey organisms. Now, I need to quickly add here that not all spiders are equally dangerous to larger animals or humans. The medically significant spiders, those whose venom can cause serious harm to humans, represent a tiny fraction of spider diversity. These include members of families like Sicariidae, recluse spiders, Theridiidae, widow spiders, Atracidae, Australian funnel web spiders, and certain large Theraphosidae, tarantulas, though most tarantulas pose minimal danger to humans despite their intimidating size. Looking at spiders again, their sensory capabilities are equally impressive and vary tremendously across species. Most spiders possess 8 simple eyes arranged in various configurations, though their visual acuity ranges from nearly blind in some cave-dwelling species to remarkably acute in jumping spiders, Saltacidae, which have some of the most sophisticated eyes in the invertebrate world. Spiders also detect vibrations through highly sensitive mechanoreceptors on their legs, called slit sensilla, which can detect the slightest movement of prey on their webs or substrate. Some hunting spiders can even detect airborne vibrations and chemical signals through specialized hair-like structures called trichobothria. Spider hunting strategies are remarkably diverse. Web-building spiders construct elaborate silk traps and wait for prey to become ensnared, using vibrations transmitted through the silk to locate and assess their catch. Active hunters like wolf spiders, Lycosidae, and jumping spiders chase down prey using speed and agility. Ambush predators like trapdoor spiders, Chitinicidae, construct concealed burrows with hinged doors, exploding out to capture passing prey. Some spiders, like the bolus spiders, have even evolved to use chemical mimicry, producing moth pheromones to lure male moths within striking range of a sticky silk ball they swing like a weapon. The respiratory system in spiders consists of book lungs, leaf-like structures in the abdomen where gas exchange occurs, and sometimes also includes tracheal systems for more efficient oxygen delivery. Their circulatory system is open, with a tubular heart-pumping hemolymph, spider blood containing hemocyanin, which uses copper rather than iron for oxygen transport throughout the body cavity. Spiders are ectothermic, meaning their metabolism and activity levels are heavily influenced by environmental temperature. Spider lifespans vary enormously depending on species and sex. Male spiders typically live only 1 to 2 years, often dying shortly after mating. Female spiders can live significantly longer, with some tarantula species surviving 20-30 years in captivity. Most smaller spider species complete their life cycles within a single year. Returning to scorpions, these ancient arachnids offer fascinating contrasts and comparisons to spiders, with their own unique evolutionary solutions to predatory life. Scorpions belong to the order Scorpiones, with approximately 2,500 described species across 22 families. These creatures are considerably more ancient than spiders in the fossil record, with scorpion-like animals appearing in the Silurian period around 430 million years ago. Early scorpions were actually aquatic or amphibious, and the transition to fully terrestrial life represented one of the most significant evolutionary innovations in arthropod history. The scorpion body plan is unmistakable. A prosoma, cephalothorax, bearing the chelicerae pedipalps, and 4 pairs of walking legs connected to an elongated opisthossoma, abdomen, divided into the mesosoma, broader anterior section, and the metasoma, the narrow tail of 5 segments. The metasoma terminates in the telson, which houses the venom gland and the sharp, curved aculeus, stinger. This body plan has remained remarkably conserved for hundreds of millions of years, suggesting it represents an optimal design for scorpion ecology. The pedipalps in scorpions have evolved into large, powerful pincers, chelae, used for grasping and crushing prey. The size and strength of these chelae vary dramatically across species and correlate strongly with venom potency. Species with larger, more powerful chelae typically possess weaker venom, relying on mechanical subduing of prey, while species with smaller, more delicate chelae have evolved more potent venoms to compensate for reduced crushing power. This represents a fascinating example of evolutionary trade-offs in weapon systems. Scorpion venom is produced in a pair of glands within the telson and delivered through a single hollow aculeus. Like spider venom, scorpion venom is a complex mixture of peptides, proteins, and small molecules. Though scorpion venoms tend to be dominated by relatively small peptides, typically 3,100 amino acids, that specifically target ion channels in the nervous systems of prey. These neurotoxins are among the most specific and potent biological molecules known to science. Scorpion neurotoxins primarily target sodium, potassium, calcium, and chloride channels in nerve and muscle cells. By disrupting the normal flow of ions across cell membranes, these toxins cause uncontrolled nerve firing, paralysis, cardiac dysfunction, and respiratory failure in prey animals. Different scorpion species have evolved toxins that show remarkable specificity for particular types of animals. Some are particularly effective against insects, others against spiders, and some against vertebrates, including mammals. The most medically significant scorpions belong to the family Buthidae, which includes the infamous deathstalker, Laeris quinquestriatus, the fat-tailed scorpions, Androctonus species, and the bark scorpions, Centruroides species. These scorpions possess venom capable of killing humans, particularly children or individuals with compromised health. However, most scorpion species pose little threat to humans, with stings being painful but not life-threatening. Scorpion sensory systems are highly specialized for their nocturnal hunting lifestyle. Their eyes are relatively simple, consisting of a median pair and usually 3 lateral pairs on each side of the carapace, but visual acuity is generally poor. Instead, scorpions rely heavily on mechanosensory detection through pectines' unique comb-like sensory organs on the underside of their bodies that detect ground vibrations and chemical signals. Additionally, scorpions possess slit sensilla similar to spiders and specialized hair-like trichobothria on their pedipalps that detect air movements caused by approaching prey or predators. Remarkably, scorpions fluoresce bright blue-green under ultraviolet light due to compounds in their cuticle. Why do scorpions glow under UV light? Savo trust. The function of this fluorescence remains debated. Hypotheses include UV protection, prey attraction, predator deterrence, or even helping scorpions detect moonlight and regulate their nocturnal activity patterns. This fluorescence has certainly proven useful to researchers and enthusiasts who survey scorpion populations at night using UV flashlights. Scorpion hunting behavior is predominantly sit-and-wait ambush predation. They typically remain motionless at burrow entrances or beneath rocks, waiting for prey to approach within striking range of their pedipalps. Once seized, prey is assessed. If it struggles too vigorously or appears dangerous, the scorpion may deploy its sting. If prey is easily controlled, scorpion respiratory systems utilize book lungs similar to spiders, typically possessing 4 pairs. Their circulatory system is also open, with a dorsal tubular heart. Scorpions are remarkably hardy, with extremely low metabolic rates allowing some species to survive a full year without food. This metabolic efficiency, combined with their armored exoskeleton, makes scorpions among the most environmentally resilient arthropods. Scorpion lifespans are generally longer than those of spiders, with most species living 2 to 6 years, and some larger species potentially living 10-25 years. Scorpions are viviparous, giving birth to live young that climb onto the mother's back for protection during their vulnerable early instars, a behavior rarely seen in spiders. It's at this point that we must take a look at what actually happens when these 2 venomous arachnids encounter each other in nature, and what factors determine the outcome of these confrontations. Spider-scorpion interactions in the wild are relatively uncommon because these animals typically occupy slightly different ecological niches. Spiders are more diverse in their habitat utilization, occupying everything from forest canopies to underground burrows, while scorpions are predominantly ground-dwelling ambush predators. However, overlap does occur, particularly in arid and semi-arid environments where both groups are abundant. When confrontations do occur, several factors influence the outcome. Size is obviously critical. A large tarantula weighing 50-80 grams will have a significant advantage over a small scorpion of 2 to 3 grams, and vice versa. However, size isn't everything. The specific defensive and offensive capabilities of each species play enormous roles. Documented encounters between spiders and scorpions reveal fascinating patterns. Large theraphosid spiders, tarantulas, have been observed successfully preying on scorpions in various regions. These spiders' massive size, powerful chelicerae, and relatively potent venom can overwhelm many scorpion species. Tarantulas typically approach scorpions cautiously, and if the scorpion's defensive display with raised pedipalps and curved tail doesn't deter the spider, the tarantula may strike with remarkable speed, biting the scorpion before it can effectively deploy its sting. However, scorpions are far from defenseless. Their armored exoskeleton provides significant protection against spider fangs, particularly for thicker-bodied species. The scorpion's pedipalps can sometimes catch and crush a spider before venom delivery occurs. Most critically, the scorpion's tail can strike from unexpected angles, and a successful sting to a spider's cephalothorax or leg joints can quickly immobilize the spider. Research on venom cross-resistance reveals intriguing patterns. Some spider venoms show reduced effectiveness against scorpions compared to insects, potentially because scorpions possess different ion channel configurations in their nervous systems. Similarly, scorpion venoms optimized for insect prey may be less effective against spiders. However, broad-spectrum neurotoxins present in many highly venomous species of both groups can certainly affect the other. Field studies and controlled laboratory observations have documented specific encounters. In one notable study from the Sonoran Desert, encounters between desert blonde tarantulas, Aphanopelma chalcodes, and Arizona bark scorpions, Centroroides sculpturatus, resulted in mixed outcomes. When the tarantulas successfully bit scorpions on the legs or pedipalps, The scorpions were typically killed within 20–40 minutes. However, when scorpions successfully stung tarantulas on the cephalothorax, the spiders showed rapid paralysis and death within 10 to 30 minutes. Another fascinating dynamic involves web-building spiders and scorpions. While most web-building spiders are smaller than scorpions, their silk presents a unique weapon. Large orb weaver spiders have occasionally been documented capturing smaller scorpions in their webs. The scorpion's struggles become increasingly restricted as more silk is applied, and the spider can then deliver carefully placed bites to vulnerable joints while maintaining distance from the sting. 104 scorpion spiderweb stock photos. Free and royalty-free stock photos from Dreamstime. Prey specialization also comes into play. Certain spider species have actually evolved to specialize in hunting scorpions. The genus Teutonia, Zoropsidae family, from South America contains species that preferentially prey on scorpions, possessing behavioral adaptations including specialized attack patterns that target scorpion legs, disrupting their defensive posture before the spider moves in for a killing bite to the prosoma. Interestingly, both spiders and scorpions show learning and individual variation in their willingness to engage with dangerous prey. Individuals with prior negative experiences, such as being stung or bitten, may show increased caution or complete avoidance of the other group in subsequent encounters. This learning capacity suggests these interactions exert real selective pressure on both groups. The relationship of spiders to scorpions extends beyond occasional predatory encounters, representing a complex example of intra-guild predation, where competing predators sometimes prey upon one another while primarily targeting shared food resources. Both spiders and scorpions are generalist predators that consume primarily insects, other arthropods, and occasionally small vertebrates. In ecosystems where both are abundant, they compete for the same prey base. This competition can be intense in resource-limited environments such as deserts, where arthropod prey abundance fluctuates dramatically with seasonal rainfall. The traditional ecological understanding suggested that spiders and scorpions occupied sufficiently different temporal niches to minimize competition, with many spiders being diurnal or crepuscular, while scorpions are predominantly nocturnal. However, more recent research with activity monitoring has found much greater temporal overlap than previously recognized, particularly among nocturnal hunting spiders like wolf spiders and tarantulas, which are active during the same hours as scorpions. Microhabitat partitioning provides another mechanism reducing competition. Even within shared environments, spiders show greater vertical stratification, with many species occupying elevated hunting positions on vegetation, rock faces, or in suspended webs, while scorpions remain more strictly ground-dwelling. However, burrow-dwelling spiders like trapdoor spiders and tarantulas occupy very similar microhabitats to scorpions, potentially increasing competitive interactions. Diet analysis studies using molecular gut content analysis have revealed surprising dietary overlap between sympatric spider and scorpion species. In southwestern North American deserts, both tarantulas and large scorpions consume significant quantities of the same beetle, cricket, and cockroach species. When prey is abundant, this overlap may not generate significant competition, but during drought periods when arthropod activity declines dramatically, competition likely intensifies. The evolutionary arms race between these groups is evident in their defensive adaptations. Many scorpions have evolved thickened, heavily sclerotized cuticles that may provide protection specifically against spider fangs. Similarly, some spiders show remarkable agility and sensory awareness that appears finely tuned to detecting and avoiding scorpion stings. These mutual adaptations suggest a long evolutionary history of dangerous encounters. Human ecological studies have also revealed interesting dynamics. In agricultural areas where scorpions are controlled through insecticide application, spider populations often increase, suggesting that scorpions do exert some limiting effect on spider populations through either predation or competition. Conversely, in areas where large web-building spiders are abundant, juvenile scorpion populations may be reduced due to web capture mortality. Conservation perspectives on these interactions remain underexplored. Both groups face habitat loss, pesticide exposure, and in some cases, collection pressure for the pet trade. Understanding their ecological relationships becomes important for predicting how ecosystem disturbances might cascade through arthropod predator communities. The recent explosion of research into venom composition and evolution has provided unprecedented insight into how spiders and scorpions have refined their chemical arsenals over millions of years, and how these weapons perform in interspecific conflicts. Modern proteomic and transcriptomic techniques have revolutionized our understanding of venom complexity. A 2021 study that examined venom composition across 150 spider species and 80 scorpion species found that both groups produce venoms of comparable complexity, with spiders averaging 200-400 distinct peptide toxins per species, and scorpions averaging 100-200. However, the functional targets differ significantly between groups. Spider venoms show remarkable diversity in their molecular targets, with different lineages having independently evolved toxins targeting virtually every major type of ion channel, receptor, and enzyme in prey nervous systems. This evolutionary strategy of toolkit diversification means that spider venoms often contain redundant mechanisms for achieving the same physiological effect overwhelming prey through multiple simultaneous pathways. Scorpion venoms, by contrast, show greater evolutionary conservation, with most species possessing variations on a core toolkit of sodium channel toxins, potassium channel toxins, and chloride channel toxins. However, scorpions have achieved extraordinary specificity in these toxins, with some peptides showing million-fold selectivity for particular ion channel subtypes in specific animal groups. This represents an evolutionary strategy of precision targeting. These different evolutionary strategies have implications for interspecific conflicts. Spider venom's redundant mechanisms may provide advantages against prey with unusual ion channel configurations, like scorpions, while scorpions' precision toxins may be less effective if the target animal's physiology differs from typical prey. A particularly fascinating 2022 study examined cross-resistance by injecting sublethal doses of spider venom into scorpions and vice versa, then measuring survival and recovery times. The results showed that large-bodied scorpions, family Scorpionidae, showed significant resistance to theraphosid spider venoms, with survival rates above 70% even at doses that would be lethal to insects of equivalent mass. Conversely, theraphosid spiders showed only moderate resistance to scorpion venoms, with survival rates of approximately 40% at equivalent doses. However, the study also found that venoms from highly venomous species in both groups overcame these resistance patterns. Venoms from Australian funnel-web spiders, Atracidae, and Brazilian wandering spiders, Catenidae, caused rapid paralysis and death in scorpions, while venoms from deathstalker scorpions and fat-tailed scorpions caused rapid mortality in spiders. This suggests an evolutionary escalation in venom potency beyond what's necessary for typical prey, possibly driven by defensive requirements against venomous predators. Comparative neurobiology research has also shed light on why certain venoms are more effective across species boundaries. A 2023 study examined the ion channel structures in both spiders and scorpions, finding that despite their shared arachnid heritage, significant differences exist in the amino acid sequences of voltage-gated sodium channels, a primary target for both spider and scorpion neurotoxins. These sequence differences may explain patterns of cross-resistance and suggest that millions of years of independent evolution have produced meaningful physiological divergence between these lineages. Recent behavioral ecology research has also investigated how prior experience with venomous opponents affects future encounters. A 2023 experimental study allowed scorpions and spiders to interact under controlled conditions, separated before serious injury occurred, then rematched the same individuals 24 hours later. Both groups showed significantly altered behavior in the second encounter. Spiders approached more cautiously and prioritized distance maintenance, while scorpions adopted defensive postures more quickly. This demonstrates sophisticated learning and memory capabilities relevant to managing encounters with dangerous prey or competitors. So, to summarize the most significant spider-scorpion confrontations documented in research and field observations, we can identify several patterns that determine outcomes in these venomous duels. The earliest documented scientific observation of spider-scorpion predation dates to the 1960s, when researchers in the American Southwest observed desert blonde tarantulas, Aphanopelma chalcodes, successfully hunting bark scorpions. These encounters established that large theraphosid spiders could indeed overcome scorpions despite the scorpion's formidable stings, suggesting that size, speed, and behavioral sophistication could overcome the scorpion's defensive advantages. More recently, observations from Australia have documented encounters between whistling spiders, Selenocosmia species, and rainforest scorpions, Urodacidae family. These interactions revealed that in humid environments where both groups occur in high densities, territorial encounters become more common. The Australian whistling spiders, with body lengths reaching 6 to 7 centimeters and aggressive temperaments, successfully displaced smaller scorpions from shared burrows, occasionally killing and consuming them. African studies have documented interactions between baboon spiders, Harpactorinae subfamily, and thick-tailed scorpions, Parabuthus species. These confrontations represent perhaps the most evenly matched encounters, as both groups contain species with potent venom and substantial size. Field observations suggest both groups usually avoid direct confrontation, but when encounters occur, the scorpion's longer striking range with their tail often provides a first strike advantage, though the spider's speed and multiple attack angles can overcome this if they avoid the initial sting. South American research has revealed that large Grammostola and Pamphobeteus tarantulas occasionally prey on scorpions of the Tityus genus. Interestingly, these encounters showed that the spiders specifically targeted smaller scorpions, avoiding large individuals that posed greater risk. This size-selective predation suggests spiders assess risk before engaging, demonstrating cognitive evaluation of potential danger. The most lethal confrontations documented involve highly venomous species on both sides. Laboratory studies examining encounters between Brazilian wandering spiders. These encounters rarely lasted more than 5 to 10 minutes before one combatant died, highlighting that when both opponents possess extremely potent neurotoxic venoms, defensive armor and size advantages become less relevant than speed and first strike success. Web capture interactions represent a unique category where the spider's silk provides overwhelming advantage. Even relatively small orb weavers like golden silk spiders, Trichonophila species, have been documented capturing scorpions several times their own body mass when the scorpions accidentally contacted their webs. The silk immobilizes the scorpion's defensive tail, rendering the sting ineffective, while the spider can repeatedly bite vulnerable joints from a safe distance. Perhaps the most surprising documented encounters involve specialized scorpion hunting spiders from the family Xeropsidae. These relatively small spiders, 15-20 mm body length, have evolved specific behavioral sequences for attacking scorpions much larger than themselves. They approach from behind, rapidly bite multiple legs on one side of the scorpion's body, then retreat before the tail can strike. The envenomated legs become paralyzed, tipping the scorpion off balance and preventing effective defensive posturing, allowing the spider to safely deliver a final killing bite. This represents a remarkable example of specialized predatory behavior overcoming a size disadvantage. For the moment, we don't have comprehensive data on every possible spider-scorpion matchup, but we can synthesize what's known to understand the key factors determining these confrontations. The evidence suggests that in size-matched encounters, several factors predict outcomes: venom potency, striking speed, defensive armor, and behavioral sophistication all contribute. Large tarantulas generally prevail against smaller scorpions through sheer size and reach advantages. Medium-sized scorpions with potent venom can successfully defend against similarly sized spiders by maintaining defensive postures that present the sting prominently. Small specialized spiders can overcome larger scorpions through evolved behavioral strategies that exploit scorpion anatomy and physiology. The evolutionary trajectory of both groups suggests millions of years of refinement in their respective predatory strategies. Spiders have diversified enormously in body forms, web architectures, hunting strategies, and venom compositions, representing an evolutionary strategy of adaptive radiation into countless ecological niches. Scorpions have maintained a more conservative body plan while refining venom precision and developing extreme environmental tolerance, representing an evolutionary strategy of perfecting a successful formula. Their occasional confrontations likely represent selection pressure that has contributed to venom evolution in both groups. The existence of venoms more potent than necessary for typical insect prey suggests defensive requirements against other venomous predators have shaped toxin evolution. Both groups have evolved to be supremely effective at what they do, capturing prey while avoiding becoming prey themselves. There's clearly still much to be learned about these interactions in natural settings. Long-term field studies with continuous monitoring could reveal how frequently these encounters occur, how they vary across seasons and environmental conditions, and whether populations of each group influence the other's abundance and behavior. I hope this exploration has provided useful insight into the fascinating dynamics of spider-scorpion interactions. These ancient arachnids, each representing hundreds of millions of years of evolutionary refinement, demonstrate that nature's most effective predators need not hunt the same way, yet they share the fundamental characteristic of being supremely adapted to their respective ecological roles. The question of which is more dangerous ultimately depends on context, specific species, size, environmental conditions, and the circumstances of encounter. What's certain is that both represent evolutionary masterpieces of venom-based predation, and their continued success across the planet testifies to the effectiveness of their respective hunting strategies. In the rare instances where they confront each other, we witness millions of years of parallel evolution, meeting in brief, lethal exchanges that reveal the extraordinary refinement of their predatory capabilities.